Alright everybody, welcome back to another video. So, I tried to figure out something to record. I'm kind of having a little bit of a writer's block today, so I figured might as well do a tier list video before the 8th anniversary. That way, at least, like, for anyone who cares, I guess, they can see my thoughts on how the game is as it stands right now, like before the 8th anniversary, because like undoubtedly I feel like, or at least I hope, when the 8th anniversary comes out, all those LRs that are gonna come out, they're all gonna be like 1, 2, 3, and 4, or like maybe they're all gonna be fighting for number 1. That would be like very, very interesting. But we're gonna do a video. I was thinking of separating it, like maybe Dokkan Fest LRs and Yellow Coin LRs and all that, but I was like, no, we'll just do a top 10 LRs in general. So this might be a little messy. I might honestly, if you point out certain things to me, I might not like like in the future I might be like, oh yeah, maybe change that or change this. But I think I have a certain understanding of what I want to do. So without further ado, let's get right to it. So first unit, this might be, I mean, this might be a surprise to some, this might not be a surprise to some, but for me, it's Beast Gohan. Now, if we go look at this guy's kit, this is by far the most disappointing unit probably released ever. Like, ever. Because it's just like, before we even got to the kit, we all thought we were going to play with this guy. But no, just an active skill. So like before you even got to what the unit did, you were already kind of disappointed. So that's already kind of bad. But then we had hope like, oh, well maybe he's just gonna be broken and it'll be fine, right? Nope. Basically nearly everything about this guy's active skill is a downgrade from a character we've previously had released this year. So I don't understand why they went ahead and did that. Like, I guess here let's point some stuff out. Like, oh, he gets attack and defense and guard for 3 turns. Guess what? There's units like Gamma 1 and Vegeta and Trunks where they get it for 4 turns or 5 turns. Why does this guy only guard for 3 turns? And why does he lose out on this attack and defense? Why couldn't he just keep that? Let's see, what else? Key 1 per key sphere. Multiple units this year have came out with Key 2 per key sphere, also known as the 7-year anniversary. Basically, almost a year after they decided to give this person 1 key instead of 2. What's in it? Oh, let's see the next thing. Additional attack and defense 30% with each super attack. Not just attacks, super attacks. Guess who doesn't do that? LR Cooler, STR Final Fold Cooler. Imagine if STR Final Fold Cooler only built up with super attacks. Yeah, he wouldn't be on this list in my opinion, because he needs to build up in order to become somewhat viable in those harder events. So imagine you just get bad RNG and you don't get Cooler built up. Like, I don't feel like he would be that as good as he is. But yeah, they made him suit. Like, why couldn't this just been attacks? Like, what's so wrong about that? And then he launches an additional attack that has a 70% chance of being a super when key is 20 or more. Now this is, you might think like, oh, this is good, right? Well, no, actually, because guess what? The 7th year anniversary LRs, you get them 20 key, there isn't no 70%. It's guaranteed additional super. And I don't understand why they would make it where like, oh hey, this guy needs to super attack multiple times to build up, but we're gonna make it 70 instead of 100. So like, you downgraded here, you downgraded there, you downgraded here, you downgraded at the start. And then attacks effective against all types, like when key is 24, that's basically like when like the 7th year LRs, but again, the 7th year LRs, when they transform, Gogeta just has that for free, and then the God Duo transformed, I think it's on 16 key, they get super effective. So again, why didn't this guy do it? Like, what? And then lastly, like, this is also, like, I mean, I guess this is, like, not that big of a deal, but it's still kind of annoying. Why is this a high chance? Why? Like, there's Metal Cooler, 70%. Gamma 1, 70%. Like, I understand those are melee supers. They didn't want to make Ki Blast supers, like, that easy to counter, but it's like, still, like, just, who cares? It's Beast Gohan. Like, just let him do it. And then, yeah, and lastly, since he does not stack at all, like, neither attack or defense, like, if he were to stack defense, I wouldn't have cared about what I'm about to say as much, but he doesn't, so he doesn't stack attack either, so this active skill hits weaker than, funny enough, Pan, Tech Pan, the Dokkan Fest, hits harder than this guy, because she actually stacks attack. So yeah, I know I just went on a little rant about Beast Gohan, but I just wanted to fully clear my case on why I have him at the bottom. Like, honestly, I'm not even gonna lie to you, I almost didn't even want to put him on this list. But yeah. And then lastly, it's these links. What are these links? Like, what's like, y'all really couldn't have like thrown out in Fighter for Saiyan Lineage or Shocking Speed for Prepare for Battle? Like, really? Because like All in the Family I would keep. I like that link. Saiyan Warrior Ace, like, it's pretty good. But just in Fighter and Shocking Speed, it's like, why? Like, what was going on here? So, again, the only hope for this guy, in my opinion, is literally same exact links, but it's this guy. You know, the guy in the background? Yeah, just release an LR of this guy, same exact links, and make him like a slot 1 unit with support or something. And then, you know, you put the Beast Gohan in slot 1, you put this guy in slot 2, and then they ruin the game. But until that happens, this guy is not... He's just not it. It's just not worth it. Because, you know, like, you want to do 5 super attacks, and I've used this guy multiple times, and he, like, even when I give him the key, he does just the normal 1 super, he does the 1 super attack, and then he gets 2 normals. Guess how many turns that's gonna, if you have to do 5 super attacks, it's gonna take you 10 turns to build up this guy. And, you know, you only have the attack and defense for 3. So, like, the only time this guy I would say looks really impressive is when you still have this up, and then you manage to fully build up this. When you do those things, yeah, this guy's great. But other than that, not really. So, moving on. Next on the list, this is kind of biased, I'm not gonna lie, but I'm gonna put LR Metal Cooler up next. Now this guy, I don't know what it is about him, but he's just so much fun to use. And I've never really found myself to be disappointed by him. Like, there's a lot of healing that comes out of his passive. Like, there's been multiple times where I got, like, destroyed the turn before, and I would get on rotation with this guy, and then, like, probably one other Metal Cooler on the rotation, and, like, my health would just jump up to, like, 70%. So, in my opinion, this guy is just, like, he does his job. Like, he's not super advanced, he's not super, like, he's not super good, he's not bad. Like, he doesn't hold down the team, you just kind of throw him on there. He does his job. He has a revival no matter what. Well, not that, but he has a revival no matter what, as long as he gets KO'd. He heals you full HP when you get KO'd. His active skill heals 30%. Like, that's just basically what this guy is. It's like, he defends. If he gets tagged by one of the big time supers, he dies, but then you just revive, and then he heals you. Like, so, that's why I like him. Like, I feel like he's simple, straightforward, gets right to the point, and does not hold down the team. And, like, especially on the Wicked Bloodline team, since he leads it just 200%, like, having 2 of this guy is not gonna hold down the team, in my opinion, because you're healing so much. So, not really much to say about Cooler. Next, I have AGL Golden Frieza. Oh, did I not pull him up? Oh, well, I think I put him in the wrong order. Okay. Next, I have AGL Golden Frieza. So, this guy, he is, like, one of the best turn 1 units, I would say, in the game. Because he has 90% damage reduction, and then he has, like, again, another unit that just gets a guaranteed additional super. Would you look at that? I wonder what, like, you know, why they just didn't want to do it to Gohan. But yeah, he just gets guaranteed double super. He builds up more, he gets extra defense after doing Like, see, this guy gets extra defense after performing 5 supers, right? Well, this is not really that big of a deal because he guaranteed double supers, and by him guaranteeing double supers, if you build him, I would say mainly additionals, which I feel like you should. It's either mainly additionals or mainly dodge with this guy, I feel like. He'll most likely get that 3rd super a lot of the time. So, like, getting this up is not that hard. And then, you know, getting this up is not that hard either because he's a slot 1 unit. So you just throw him in there, get these 5 attacks, boom, he gets extra ki and 50% attack. Active skill is nothing to write home about. It's kind of just there. Like, I wouldn't say it's amazing. Like, oh, it's an AoE, but it's from the 3rd turn, so a lot of times you're not going to AoE anything, per se. And then Link's, like, other than Super God Combat Resurrection F, he has pretty much basic, Frieza Clan Links, so he works great with other Frieza units. Like, overall, just amazing unit. Like, he does his job again, doesn't get you killed, and his mechanics are built great. So, next on the list, I was debating between putting Golden Frieza above this guy or putting this guy above him, but I think I'm gonna put him above just because this guy has more potential if you manage to get him built up. That, and also this guy links with someone on this list that is very high on this list, so I feel like that makes him better. But yeah, this guy, like, he is kind of simple, I would say. He's not like I think he doesn't really like live Cell Max and other those bosses, but he does the job. Like, basically what I would say is, you know, he is like kind of a slot 1 unit. Like, if they would have given him guard for the first like 3 turns or 4 turns, so that way he can like build up his passive comfortably, I would like him way more, but it's fine. But yeah, the thing why I say this guy has more potential is because when he gets hit 10 times, he will have a scouter for the rest of the fight, and he'll have access to his active skill, which hits pretty hard, I would say. And then, you know, he also gives allies ki. He also gives ki, I think, ki support. Yeah, he supports 50% defense and ki for super class. So, like, again, this part right here is going to be very important with the unit that we're going to put later on this list. I think everyone knows what I'm talking about, but I'm just not going to say it just for now. But yeah, this guy, like, has more potential to be better. But, like, I would, if you put a gun to my head and, like, said who's better turn 1, I would say Frieza. But we'll go ahead and put him above Frieza for now. Next on the list, yeah, okay, sorry, I was just trying to remember the order. So, now, I know a lot of people are not gonna like this, putting these two together. Now, hear me out. These guys are better. Like, honestly, I would probably say this much better. But that's only because they have better partners. That doesn't change the fact that when these guys get better partners, they're not going to be just as good. Like, I wouldn't say that these guys are going to become better, because again, they're the same unit, it's just partners. It's just, like, I don't know. I just feel like it's not fair to say that these guys are like, oh, they're so much better. Like, I understand that, like, a lot of people say that they are, like, not good. Some people don't even put these guys on the list, funny enough, but I'm just gonna go ahead and say that they're both around the same level. Now, when the 8th anniversary starts, we've already gotten teased that it's gonna be some form of GT theme, I would say, at some point. Now, I'm not expecting any Super Saiyan 4s in this celebration, but if there is honestly even just one Super Saiyan 4 unit in this celebration that is, like, really overpowered, these guys become so much better. Like, especially if that Super Saiyan 4 unit is gonna share most of these links, these guys are gonna be great. And, like, I don't think anyone can say anything wrong about that. Especially this guy, because, like, this guy, that's, like, I feel like this guy is better than the blues, just because, like, this guy gets damage reduction, and he has a coin flip chance of just, you know, completely negating damage from super attacks. So I feel like this guy is better when you get him out, especially if he has a good partner. But as it stands right now, he doesn't have good partners, and you know the gods are not bad either. They can just outright dodge when they're in the blue form. So, but yeah, as funny as it is, you know, units that came out almost a year ago at this point are better than Beast Gohan. But yeah, I feel like people are gonna get mad at me for putting them together, but that's just the way I see it. Next on the list, we have LR, LR Cooler. Now, honestly, this guy, I love using him. He is very, very fun to use. I would honestly put him like number 2 or number 1, just because of how, like, if we're just going based off how fun it is to use a unit, I would probably put him at number 1. But in terms of actual, like, playing, I would put him at number 5. And there's nothing bad about him. It's just better units have came out, I would say. He's still just as good as he came out. I don't think he aged at all. This guy's only going to continue to age better once we get more and more Frieza clan member units, which, you know, lo and behold, Frieza is one of the main characters in the series. So guess what? When Black Frieza drops in the future, and he shares a good amount of links with this guy, who knows? This guy will be still relevant. I mean, I don't expect Black Frieza to come out anytime soon, but if he does, like, this guy's gonna be great. But yeah, like, there's nothing really to say, I would say here. It's just, he's great. I love him. He's so much fun to use, and a lot of times, like, when you juice him up with support, or just, like, when you go out of your way to make sure that he stacks attack every turn, this active skill hits like an absolute nuke. Like, I can see why they didn't give this guy guaranteed crits on the active skill, because this would, like, if it was guaranteed crit every time, it would be so much better. But that's why I feel like you build this guy mainly with crit, because you're basically trying to get him to crit on every single one of his additional supers, and then you would want him to crit on the active skill. So, overall, still a great unit. I don't think anything's changed about him. Like, putting him at number 5 is not, like, a diss or anything. It's just, there's just better units. Now, I would normally put Birdku upcoming, but I'm actually gonna put, Vegeta and Trunks next. And there's a reason for that, because, just go ahead and put it right here. Because, you know, this guy links with someone I'm about to put on the list. But Vegeta and Trunks, again, still amazing. Like, these guys were the best unit in the game for a long amount of time. A lot of people didn't want to believe it. A lot of people didn't want to enjoy it, just because, like, oh, you know, it's Vegeta and Trunks. It's not something cool. Like, you know, people didn't like the fact. But it's like, dude, these guys, like, they guarantee guard for 5 turns, but then they also do guaranteed guard if you put them in slot 1. They get extra defense if they're in slot 1, so there really isn't a reason for you not to put them in slot 1. They stack attack on their 18 key, so, like, a lot of times, like, after 2 or 3 stacks, they're at, like, almost 700k defense with guard in slot 1, so that is more than enough to literally go through any red zone completely fine. And then lastly, we have this active skill that, like, hits really hard because they're stacking attack, and it's also a guaranteed crit. But they also do this. They give defense. Active skill, 20% defense buff. This is insane. So, like, I absolutely adore this unit. When they were the number 1 unit in the game, I still, like, they were just so much fun to use. But yeah, you literally, like, put them on the team, throw them in slot 1, you're good. Like, that's it. You don't have to do much. Like, they have a great link set. Like, it's funny that a duo unit has a better link set than a solo unit, but, you know, we're not gonna, let's not go there too far, even though we've already went there too far. But yeah, overall, great unit, great. And, you know, again, they lead like the best team, so it's like, all right. Now, well, actually, I guess before we move on, let me talk about Birdku. So, yeah. This guy, I would say, I've seen people having debates about, like, oh, this guy's better, or like, oh no, Vegeta and Trunks is better. I will say that they're both similar units. This guy is more flexible. I would say their defense is around the same level. But I would say, yeah, this guy is more flexible in the fact that he just does guard when you're above 59% or 59 or 60% health or more. He just guards, so you can put him anywhere. You don't have to put him in slot 1. And he stacks defense just like them. And this guy also just gets like attack effective, but I don't care that much about that. But I will say, due to recent events of this guy having a brand new partner that is really broken, and the fact that this guy also just has to revive, I will go. That's why I went ahead and put him above Vegeta and Trunks. Normally I would put Vegeta and Trunks above him, but due to the fact that I guess let's just do it. Due to the fact that this guy came out, and you know he is just, oh, whoops. Well, that's a spoiler to the number 1, but I'm pretty sure everyone realized it. But yeah, due to the fact that this guy came out and he is just, oh, I think I have it. Do I have any Japanese for this part? Okay, I guess the EZA is not translated, but it's fine. Yeah, due to the fact that this guy came out and, you know, they share 7 out of 7, and then also he shares 7 out of 7 links with these guys too. I would say it would bump them, like it bumped them up on the list, because you know, having a partner that is just as good, like this guy guards as well, he stacks defense, he builds up defense, he can triple super, right, in this form, and like I feel like if you can just manage to get even just one turn where he triple supers, he's good. Like, or sometimes you don't have to triple super, just get a double super, and you're pretty good. And then like this condition is still annoying to get, so like I wouldn't necessarily say like Super Saiyan 2 Gohan is like super important to him being number 2. Like I feel like if anything, if Super Saiyan 2 Gohan was easier to access, like if he was just accessible whenever you really wanted to, he would be number 1 without a doubt. That is literally the only thing, in my opinion, that is holding him back from being number 1, is how hard this condition is. But yeah, you know, this guy is technically, in my opinion, the best unit in the game, but he is just locked behind such a BS condition that I don't think a lot of people will be able to use. Like, you're not gonna be able to get him out all the time. Like, you can definitely go out of your way to do it, especially with now we have Gamma 1 and 2, which are like top tier Android characters. But regardless, I'm not gonna go ahead and lie to you and be like, oh yeah, I get this guy every fight, so he's the best unit in the game. Like, I'm not gonna say that, but I will say that when you do get this guy out, he is the best unit in the game. There's no contest. Just because the way they built him, where like below 59%, I think he gets like the chance for another super and the crit, and then when you're above 59% with a Goku or something, I think you get additional. So it's like the way, but that other one, the 59%, when you have to be above, that's when attacking. That's not on the start of turn. The one below is on start of turn. So the one below, you're gonna have that active because you have to be below 58% to transform. So you'll have that active when you transform, and then he makes a bunch of AGL orbs, so you're gonna heal up and you're gonna go past 59% when you attack. And then now you have his entire passive active turn 1, which is just insane. Because he's gonna do the 18 key, guaranteed additional, then he has a additional that he can do from his passive, and then he can do the hidden potential additional. So, like he can quadruple super, and like, again, this guy, 18 keys like 20 something million, and then additionals are like 15 million each. So, he's literally just a better SDR cooler. And, you know, links are amazing. He's on 1 million teams, and yeah, like that's just it. So if Super Saiyan 2 Gohan was more easily accessible, he would be number 1. But lastly, to the surprise of nobody, number 1 is Piccolo. Now, I did not expect this guy to be number 1 when he was announced. Again, we expected the other guy, Beast Gohan, to be number 1. But I'm not mad at it. Like, I'm not salty about it like how people were salty about Vegeta and Trunks being number 1. But this guy, it's just like, it's the same thing with Gohan. He gets this buff and then the guard for 3 turns, and then he gets a 1 key, but this guy gets damage reduction. He gets 20%. Like 20% is not that much, but it's still, I would say, makes a difference. And this guy builds up when he gets hit. He doesn't have to do super attacks. And you know, I would say start a turn like him guarding with this damage reduction. Any boss you can throw him in front of, get this built up immediately. He gives all allies 2 key after he gets attacked. This is very, very nice in my opinion. And then lastly, I would say this part's kind of hard to get active because there's a lot of conditions here, but if you do get this active, he's just like, he cannot be killed. Like any boss, you can literally think any boss in the game, you have this active, he can't die. Like honestly, there's even certain points where he doesn't even have to have this active and then the boss cannot kill him. But yeah, if you get this active and he gets this full heal and then he gets another 30% damage reduction, so he'll have 50, like 50% damage reduction, he's rocking like 1,000,000 defense, like nothing can hurt him, nothing, literally there's nothing in the game as it stands right now. Like maybe with the 8th anniversary there will be something that can hurt this guy, but as it stands right now I feel like this guy is just like a stone wall. And he's not just defense. This guy does pretty impressive attack stats. He does like, I don't know, like, I've seen him do like 15 million at like 18 keys and he additionals into like an 11 million, so that's not bad. And then just I guess the cherry on top is whatever the hell this guy is. Like just absolute madness. You just transform into this guy. You have minimum 2 turns. You can get a 3rd turn with him. He gets 2 key per key sphere, so it's very easy, I would say, to get him 24 key, or just at least 18 key. And then every single Piccolo that attacks, you have 3 every turn. Every single one of those Piccolos can triple super, because he has a 30% to additional super. So, like, the amount of damage this guy does when he transforms, like if there's a boss that you want to finish off, or sometimes this guy can just one phase final parts of Red Zone, you just transform into this guy, and then honestly just put your phone on auto, or like just tap your phone, and this guy will either kill them or he will bring them pretty damn low. Especially if he gets, you know, that little extra from Shenron. If he gets that little extra and he gets a triple super every slot and you get him for 3 turns, that's it. It's over. And I'm just gonna go ahead and bring this up real quick. When this guy easy A's, where is he? This guy. When this guy easy A's, it's over. Like, I mean, hold on, let me see. How many links did they share? Him and that Piccolo. Let's see. So they share Namekians, Brainiacs, Fierce Battle, and I think that's it. Okay, so actually they don't share as many links as I would have liked. Well, I think they share Shock and Speed too. Wait, no, he doesn't have Shock Speed. Never mind. This isn't that good of a point to bring up. They only share 3 links per se, but I feel like they're still going to be absolute powerhouse, because like again, you throw this guy in slot 1, you put this guy in slot 2, he stacks, and he also gives you Scouter no matter what. So that's why I'm saying, like, when this guy easy A's, all he needs is more stats. Give him more stats and he will be that good, because he already has stacking, he already has this. And then when he does transform, he's also still pretty good, because he has 40% damage reduction already. So, and then he heals every time you're this low, and he still has a Scouter when he transforms. So like when he easy A's, you just get a couple stacks with him. I would say, like, at least as it stands right now, you get him to like maybe 500, 600k defense, then transform, and then this 40% damage reduction with the defense is gonna be enough, in my opinion, to hold you over any boss. But it's just, as it stands right now, this guy builds up way too slow. But yeah, like, I don't see how they can mess up his EZA, because he already has this scouter, like, for free. So they literally just give him more stats, and we're good. But yeah, that's my tier list. Here's how it is. RIP Beast Gohan. I really wish you were better, but that's just the way it rolls. So let me know what you guys think. Go ahead and roast me in the comments. I don't know. You could probably talk me out of some of these placements, but this is basically where I would rank my units to me using them and stuff like that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next video. Peace.